Keith Urban is back on stage, and the truth behind his comeback is shocking. That's exactly how fans felt on November 19, 2025, as the 58-year-old country superstar made his first award show appearance since the world learned about his split from Nicole Kidman. The 59th Annual CMA Awards at Nashville's Bridgestone Arena wasn't just another night of music, it was the stage for a highly anticipated, emotional return. Urban walked out, guitar in hand, and the crowd erupted. He was performing his 1999 hit, Where the Blacktop Ends, alongside the show's host, Lainey Wilson, in a pairing that instantly blended nostalgia with fresh energy. From the very first note, it was clear this performance was more than just a song. It was a statement, a reminder that even after months of personal upheaval, Keith Urban remains a master of his craft. Fans had spent weeks speculating, how would he handle the stage after news of his divorce? Would he appear fragile, or would he step up and command attention as only a seasoned performer can? The answer was in every strum, every note, every subtle smile he shared with Wilson on stage. The energy was electric, and the audience responded with a standing ovation that felt almost reverential. Adding to the moment, Wilson's intro had already set the tone with a medley of songs featuring popular artists in the audience, including Miranda Lambert, Little Big Town, and Shabuzi. But when Urban walked in, the arena felt charged with something bigger, a mix of surprise, respect, and genuine excitement. Cameras flashed, the crowd cheered, and it became clear that this wasn't just another performance. It was a milestone, a public reemergence after a storm of personal headlines. The performance concluded with Wilson introducing Billy Ray Cyrus and Elizabeth Hurley as the night's first presenters, leaving the audience buzzing and marking Urban's return as a highlight of the show. It was more than music, it was a glimpse into resilience, dedication, and the unshakable connection between an artist and his craft. But this was only the beginning. While the applause was thunderous, what truly makes Keith Urban's story compelling is what happens behind the scenes, away from the lights and cameras. The struggles, the personal sacrifices, and the challenges of life on the road that most fans never see. What happens next is a chapter that reveals just how intertwined his personal life and music really are. Just weeks before that dramatic CMA performance, Keith Urban's life had taken a very public turn. On September 30, 2025, Nicole Kidman, his estranged wife of 19 years, officially filed for divorce. Reports confirmed that the couple had been separated over the summer, ending nearly 2 decades of marriage that fans had once seen as rock solid. Suddenly, headlines, rumors, and speculation dominated the country music world, but behind the tabloids, there was a deeply human story unfolding. For Urban, the news wasn't just a public announcement. It was the culmination of months of personal challenges. While fans had long admired the couple for their long-lasting marriage, insiders revealed that the decision to separate had been mutual, though inevitably painful. Friends, family, and industry colleagues watched as one of country music's power couples quietly stepped apart. The timing of the divorce announcement sent shockwaves through social media and media outlets alike, sparking a frenzy of commentary, speculation, and concern from fans. Yet, even in the midst of heartbreak, Urban's dedication to his music never wavered. He continued performing, taking the stage at his High and Alive World Tour in Hershey, Pennsylvania, only days after the divorce news broke. On stage, he carried himself with the poise of a seasoned performer, concealing the turbulence of his personal life behind the confident strums of his guitar and the familiar rhythms of his songs. Fans couldn't help but notice the depth in his performance, sensing the subtle emotions that seemed to ripple beneath the surface. What makes this chapter of Urban's life especially compelling is the contrast between public perception and private reality. While headlines emphasize the split, few people truly understood the emotional complexity of navigating a divorce while maintaining a demanding tour schedule. The quiet moments, waking up in hotel rooms far from home, rehearsing late at night, or reflecting on years spent building a life with someone now gone, added layers of resilience and determination to his story. The divorce wasn't just a legal ending, it was a catalyst, a moment that set the stage for Urban's artistic and personal reinvention. Fans, critics, and fellow musicians watched closely, wondering how he would respond. Would he retreat from the spotlight, or would he use music as a way to process, to heal, and to reconnect with what truly mattered? What happened next revealed a side of Keith Urban few had seen, one shaped by heartbreak, introspection, and an unshakable bond with the stage that would soon culminate in his unforgettable CMA performance. After months of silence and speculation, Keith Urban stepped back into the spotlight, reminding the world exactly why he's considered one of country music's most enduring performers. His first major return after the divorce news came at the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania, as part of his High and Alive World Tour. For fans, it wasn't just another concert, it was a glimpse into a man navigating personal upheaval while still commanding the stage with ease and confidence. From the moment he walked out, guitar in hand, there was an energy that couldn't be ignored. Each note he played, each lyric he sang, carried with it a quiet intensity that reflected the challenges he had endured off stage. While many might crumble under the weight of public scrutiny and personal heartbreak, Urban seemed to channel every emotion into his music, transforming vulnerability into performance. The crowd responded instantly, cheering and swaying, as if acknowledging not just the music, but the strength it took for him to stand there at all. What made this return even more remarkable was how seamlessly he connected with his audience despite the personal turbulence. While the cameras focused on every movement, every smile, the true story lay in the quiet resilience behind the scenes. Early mornings on tour buses, long drives between cities, and the constant pressure to deliver a perfect show night after night. Urban himself has described these moments as grueling, waking up sick at 3:30 a.m., missing family and friends, yet pushing through because music is his calling. It's that dedication that made his Hershey performance feel like more than a concert. It was a statement, a testament to the power of passion over adversity. Fans watching from the arena and at home sensed the layered emotions in his performance. There was the joy of reconnecting with audiences, the nostalgia of revisiting classic hits, and the subtle undertone of someone processing major life changes in real time. Each song became a bridge between his private world and the public stage, allowing fans a rare glimpse into the heart of an artist who has always lived in the spotlight yet remains deeply human. This comeback wasn't just a one-night spectacle. It was the opening chapter of a journey that would continue to unfold over the following weeks. From intimate concerts to private performances, and ultimately to his headline-making CMA appearance, Keith Urban was proving something crucial. Personal struggles don't define a performer. The way he channels them into music does. And the story of his resilience, his return, and the raw honesty behind the music was only beginning. Life on tour is often glamorized. Flashing lights, screaming fans, and sold-out arenas. But for Keith Urban, it's a grind that tests not just stamina but the soul. Months before his divorce became public, Urban opened up on CBS's The Road about the brutal realities of life as a touring musician. His words painted a picture that few fans get to see: early mornings, relentless travel, exhaustion, and the constant tug-of-war between personal life and professional demands. "It's a calling and you're born to do it, or you're not gonna make it," Urban said during the premiere. Imagine waking up at 3:30 a.m., sick, alone, in a strange city, knowing you have to deliver your fifth show that night. No sleep, missing your family, missing your friends, completely isolated. Yet, somehow, you pick up your guitar, step onto the stage, and pour everything you have into the performance. That's the life of Keith Urban, and he's made it clear. The love of music is what keeps him moving forward, even when the road is lonely and unforgiving. These revelations add a layer of depth to Urban's CMA performance and his recent return to live shows. Fans watching him perform might see a confident, smiling superstar, but behind the lights and applause is a man who has faced countless sleepless nights and moments of doubt. The reality of life on the road is demanding, emotionally taxing, and at times lonely. And it's within that crucible that Urban's music is forged, every note, every lyric, carrying the weight of lived experience. What makes his story compelling is how he balances this relentless schedule with personal upheaval. Even amid divorce proceedings, Urban didn't retreat. He leaned into what he knows best, performing. The stage becomes both a sanctuary and a challenge, a place where he can confront life's difficulties while transforming them into something powerful and resonant for his fans. Yet, the road isn't just about hardship, it's also about small, unexpected moments, connecting with fans, sharing laughs with fellow musicians, or discovering inspiration in a new city. These moments remind Urban and his audience that the sacrifices are worth it when passion and purpose collide. And just when it seems like the exhaustion might take over, a surprise opportunity appears, like his private performance at Anthony Pratt's party at Mar-a-Lago, where he brought the same energy and authenticity that defines his live shows. But even these rare moments of reprise set the stage for what was coming next, a highly anticipated CMA return that would mark not only a performance but a statement. What fans didn't know yet was how deeply personal and emotionally charged that comeback would truly be. Even as Keith Urban navigated personal challenges and the relentless grind of touring, he found moments to surprise fans and keep his performances fresh. One of the most talked about appearances came on November 15, 2025, just days before his CMA comeback, at a private party hosted by Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. While the setting was far from a stadium filled with screaming fans, Urban delivered a performance that was both intimate and electrifying, showcasing his versatility as an artist. That night, he sang Bob Marley's classic, "Is This Love?" alongside Chappell Roan's Pink Pony Club, a combination that highlighted his ability to move effortlessly between genres while keeping the audience engaged. Social media buzzed with clips and photos from the event, fans and insiders alike praising the raw emotion and energy Urban brought to the stage, despite the exclusive nature of the performance. It was a reminder that, even amidst personal upheaval, Keith Urban doesn't just perform, he connects. What makes these appearances particularly compelling is how they contrast with his public image. While tabloids were filled with stories about his divorce and personal life, Urban continued to demonstrate professionalism, charisma, and commitment to his craft. There's something quietly remarkable about an artist who, in the midst of emotional turbulence, still delivers performances that feel authentic and deeply personal. Each song becomes a bridge, connecting him to an audience in a way that words alone cannot. These unexpected performances also set the stage for Urban's CMA return. Fans could see that the man behind the headlines was still fully immersed in his music, fully present in every chord and lyric. Whether performing at a private party or a sold-out arena, he approaches each stage with the same intensity and dedication, proving that resilience and passion can coexist even during life's most difficult moments. The Mar-a-Lago performance was more than just a one-off gig, it was a signal. Keith Urban was ready to return to the public eye, not with hesitation, but with confidence. It was proof that the man who faced personal heartbreak, long hours on the road, and intense scrutiny could still deliver moments of brilliance and captivate audiences at every turn. And just days later, that preparation and quiet determination culminated in what fans had been waiting for, the 59th Annual CMA Awards. The stage was set for a performance that would mark not just a musical comeback, but a personal statement, showing the world that Keith Urban's resilience and artistry were stronger than ever. The 59th Annual CMA Awards wasn't just another night of music. For Keith Urban, it was a carefully orchestrated moment that showcased both his talent and his resilience. His performance of "Where the Blacktop Ends" wasn't a simple nod to nostalgia. It was a finale to Lainey Wilson's electrifying introduction, which featured a medley of songs from some of country music's biggest stars. Miranda Lambert, Little Big Town, and Shaboozey were just a few of the familiar faces in the audience, watching as Urban made a dramatic return to the spotlight. From the very first strum, it was clear that Urban was commanding the stage with a confidence that comes only from years of experience, but also from a place of personal struggle and reflection. His harmonies with Wilson felt effortless, yet there was a subtle intensity, a depth that hinted at everything he'd been through over the past months. Fans online noted how the performance seemed charged with emotion, every note carrying the weight of both celebration and recovery. The crowd's standing ovation wasn't just for the song, it was for the journey, the resilience, and the undeniable presence of a man who had been through heartbreak and was still standing strong. Adding to the drama, the performance seamlessly transitioned to introduce the night's first presenters, Billy Ray Cyrus and Elizabeth Hurley, blending star power with narrative momentum. It was a reminder that a performance at this level isn't just about singing, it's about timing, energy, and capturing the audience's attention from the very first moment to the final chord. Every movement, every look, and every chord struck a balance between artistic precision and emotional authenticity. What made the moment unforgettable wasn't just the stagecraft, it was the story behind it. Urban's months of private performances, tour exhaustion, and personal turmoil all culminated in a single, breathtaking set that showcased his ability to rise above adversity. Fans watching from home or in the arena could feel the tension, the release, and the triumph that made this performance more than just a song. It was a statement. By the time the final notes rang out and applause echoed through the Bridgestone Arena, it was clear. Keith Urban's CMA performance wasn't simply a return to the stage. It was a powerful demonstration of resilience, artistry, and emotional depth. And while the night ended with cheers and accolades, it set the stage for what came next. A reflection on the journey, the struggle, and the man behind the music, reminding everyone that even in the spotlight, true strength is often invisible. Keith Urban's CMA performance wasn't just about music, it was about resilience, passion, and a man reclaiming his narrative in the face of personal upheaval. After months of speculation surrounding his divorce from Nicole Kidman, fans and critics alike were watching to see how he would respond. Would he retreat, let the headlines define him, or rise above it all? Urban's standing ovation at Nashville's Bridgestone Arena answered that question with remarkable clarity. He rose, and he rose with undeniable artistry and grace. What made this moment so powerful was the combination of vulnerability and mastery. On one hand, there was the history, decades of hits, tours, and moments that had cemented Urban's place in country music. On the other, there was the raw, human side that fans rarely get to see, the exhaustion, the loneliness, the emotional toll of life on the road, and the challenges of personal heartbreak. That duality is what made every note, every chord, and every harmony feel like more than performance. It felt like storytelling. The audience didn't just hear the music, they felt the journey. Social media erupted with reactions, with fans praising not just the song, but the courage behind it. Commenters noted how his energy seemed to carry an emotional depth, a mix of nostalgia, recovery, and newfound determination. Every cheer, every standing ovation, was a recognition of both his talent and the resilience required to deliver it. Urban had transformed personal struggle into public triumph, reminding fans that music can be both a refuge and a statement. Beyond the stage, this performance also marked a turning point in how the public perceives him. It wasn't just about being a superstar or a country music icon anymore. It was about authenticity. Fans could see a man who had faced significant challenges, embraced them, and used them to fuel his art. That transparency created a connection that went beyond music charts or awards. It was deeply human, profoundly relatable, and undeniably inspiring. Keith Urban's CMA performance will likely be remembered as one of his most impactful. Not because it was technically flawless, though it was, but because it captured the essence of his journey. A man navigating the highs and lows of life with courage, integrity, and a steadfast commitment to his craft. As the applause faded and the lights dimmed, it became clear that Urban's story is far from over. The stage may be bright, but it's his resilience, authenticity, and unwavering love for music that will continue to shine, leaving fans excited to see what comes next in both his personal life and career.